Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iOS today is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
Coming up, it's our annual back-to-school episode.
Ooh, flashcard apps, digital homework planners, and other ways to learn.
Plus, Zoombinis are back.
I am so happy!
All that, and Leo finally learns to drive. On iOS Today.
iOS Today is brought to you by Gazelle, the fast and simple way to sell your used gadgets. Find out what your used iPhone, iPad, or other Apple product is worth at Gazelle.com. It's iOS Today time.
Here we are, back
Megan,
to school.
Leo.
Yes, Megan Maroney, Leo Laporte. We're going back to school.
Your last name's Maroney?
It is.
Okay.
It has been for
years. I thought you were
15 years.
Aleski.
Well, you've known me that long.
I have, haven't
yes,
I? I knew you
have.
before you were Maroney.
You did. You knew me back when.
Did you know your husband when we first met?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me? No, I'm just teasing. Yeah, Marco's great. We love Marco. Wonderful guy. He's a teacher. And since this is the kind of the... I'm sorry, she's lost it now. Since this kind of is the end of the summertime, we are going to do our annual back to school segment. We do this every year. Back to school apps and tricks and tips. And you're kind of into this because
I am.
Marco's getting ready, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, my husband's a teacher, and he is getting ready to go back to school. My daughter's getting ready to go back to school. My boy's already in school because they go to year-round.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are ready. So I wanted to start with some flashcard apps.
Good.
Because,
I think that's a great way to learn.
yeah.
When I was a kid, we didn't have digital devices, so we had flashcards, physical paper cards.
Right.
And I remember, it was the best thing I think I ever did. We had something called Viz Ed cards. You ever hear of these? It was a long box, about 1,000 cards. They were vocabulary cards. Viz Ed does a lot of different kinds, or used to. They're probably out of business by now, right? Because who needs these anymore? But I would learn my vocabulary that way. On the front part was a word, perspicacious, and on the back part was the definition. And
Talkative?
so
What's
lots of rain.
Oh.
It means you're perceptive.
Oh, perceptive.
Oh yeah, sometimes I throw in words that I remember the Viz Ed card. That's how a good learning system it is. It really embeds it into your mind.
Yeah, and I mean, you can make your own, of course, but why would you?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, why would you?
And you might get the answers wrong.
Right.
And then you'd embed the wrong answer, which would not be good.
Yeah, so we each have a couple. I mean, I have a couple, and you have one. The first one is Quizup. No, Quizlet.
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 Quizup I've played. I love that game.
And that is another good way to learn. But Quizlet, which I have that here, and it's basically you can create a new study set or go by one that's already.
Let's tilt this a little bit.
Let's do that.
Get your head out of the way there so I can see.
Do you want to do literature, computer history, multiplication, Huck Finn literary terms, Swift programming language? What should we learn? State capitals, multiplication?
Let's do state capitals. I think I can do that. State capitals for 60, Alex.
Okay.
Okay.
So here's the three options you have. You can do cards.
Yeah.
You can learn, or you can do a matching game. So I'll start with the cards.
Okay. That's more like what I was talking. Sacramento is the state capital of California, right?
So you just click it.
Oh, nice. And you even see where it is.
Yeah.
That's good. Denver, Colorado. So this is the easy way. Hartford, Connecticut.
Yep. And you can play it sound too.
Is there sound on that? Let's hear it. What is it? Dover. Delaware.
So yeah.
Tallahassee.
Florida.
Atlanta. Georgia.
So that's one way to learn. Another way you can learn is by writing it out.
Oh,
so,
that's a tough
New
one.
Mexico.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know that's the hardest thing to
Is that Albuquerque? Alberquue.
Did you win the spelling bee when you were little? Did I spell that right?
You know what? Albuquerque used to have another letter.
Santa Fe.
I just wanted to show off. that I could spell,
I thought it
not
was
no
Albuquerque
capitals.
too. And then the third way you can learn is this matching game. So you start the game and then you just match them all up, like St. Paul, Minnesota,
that's
Oklahoma.
See, that's fun, and it makes it fun for kids, but they're learning while they're doing it. How does Annabella or Huck and Milo, how do they like this?
They like Quizlet. They do it in school and they make their own.
Oh, neat.
So they might not all be accurate. I just want to warn you, because some of them, this one was made by Dr. Super Wholock, these computer history. So.
Oh, let's see. I'm good at that. Give me some computer history questions, Dr. Super Wholock.
Stepped Regnower.
That's made up. There is no stepped Regnower.
To add,
Oh.
subtract, multiply,
Leibniz.
and divide.
All right.
First mechanical calculate.
Okay.
Calculator.
ENIAC.
ENIAC, yeah, that was an early computer. I don't know what it stands for. Mockley and Eckert, yep.
Okay,
that's cool.
That's
cool.
Quizlet. It's easy. It's free. There are no ads, no in-app purchases. Very basic.
Evernote used to have a great flashcard program where you would create your own flashcards. They called it Evernote Peak because it was so cool. And we've shown it on years ago. We'd show it. You'd take your iPad, but you needed the smart cover, and then you would lift the bottom part of the smart cover and it would show the answer or the question, I guess, and then you'd flip it up for the whole thing. And you could make your own flashcards. They've discontinued it, I think probably because a lot of people have iPads and don't have the smart cover anymore.
Right.
So they send you to something called StudyBlue. And what I like about StudyBlue, actually, let's go back to the beginning. StudyBlue is a traditional flashcard app, but it works with Evernote. So if you're a student and you use Evernote, which, by the way, I think you should. It's a great notebook program for keeping research notes and ideas, video, audio, everything going in Evernote.
Good for scanning. You can scan other people's notes if you don't take
and
your
it's
own.
completely free. So this is, let's go back to the beginning here if I can figure out how to do that.
Evernote also has a pro version, but you don't use the pro version of Evernote?
I pay for the pro version, but StudyBlue is a third-party add-on. Evernote has a lot of third-party add-ons. So you can create your own cards, and I think for a student that's not a bad idea, and it's a very easy thing to do. You give it the term, you give it the definition, and then you can you could actually submit that to the library so other people can use your cards. Teachers can use this as well. You can add a school. Some schools actually use this officially. You can add an interest. There are lots of interests. And you can browse the library of existing cards, which is huge. We just picked a couple. I was not doing well in it. The Glasgow Coma Scale. This would be for medical students. How about the pectoral region? Do you feel comfortable to the pectoral region?
I feel comfortable in my pectoral region, yes. Thank you for asking.
No, we're going to learn.
Oh, okay, yes.
All right, and then it actually keep track of this. This is somebody made this, which is kind of neat. So you can choose how many cards. Now I should point out, there's a paid version, and it's not cheap. It's if you buy it by the year, it's $6.67 a month. The most expensive is $18 a month. I think a lot of schools though provide it as part of the curriculum. So is Quizlet free?
Quizlet is free, yes.
So I got to say, go with a free solution unless your school's doing this. This has a lot of features. They say, 250 million quizzes and study materials and so forth. Let's go back. It's free if you just want to create your own. If you want to use other people's, and by the way, a teacher could do that and give it to students, then you'd have to pay for it. They have lots of nice features. You can, as you're doing the quiz, choose how many cards you want to use. Oops. Let's go back here. You could say, do I want to learn the term and provide the definition, or do I want to see the definition? Oh, she's not letting me do it. And provide the term. You can choose the order the cards come up. This is great because if you get it wrong, you can redo it with the least studied or hardest to easiest or random. This is a powerful program. It's a little disappointing that it's that expensive, but if you're just going to make your own cards, it's absolutely free, but a little pricey. StudyBlue, this is an Evernote partner, so you'll find it in the Evernote library if you use Evernote. One of the nicest things is you're able to take your Evernote notes and make them study cards, just as you used to do with Peak, and I think that's a nice feature.
Yeah.
What else?
This one is similar. It's called Brainscape. It is free, but there is also a premium version.
That's what we're seeing a lot
but
more of.
It's a little bit fancier, so let's do a vocab workout.
Okay, I'm ready. I got a great vocabulary. Thanks for those Viz Ed cards. I am so ready. Give me the hardest vocabulary you got.
Okay. Advanced vocabulary. Elate.
Elate. Well, everybody knows that. That's when you take a balloon and you let the air out. right?
That's to get excited about something, right?
Okay,
To
yeah.
fill
Fill
with
with
optimism.
optimism.
So here's what I like. This is they have some science behind it. It's confidence-based repetition. So how well did you know this?
And you're you're
1
self-assess.
is not at all, and
Right.
5 is perfectly.
I think you
I'd
got
say between
4.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
So emollient.
Emollient. That is when a person named Molly decides that she wants you out of her life. You've been emolliated.
Excellent. Also having the effect of softening.
Softening. It's an
Like
emollient.
emollient. That makes sense.
The cream was a popular
we didn't
emollient.
know that at all.
I still think it's
Venal?
Oh yeah, venal. I can't even tell you what that is on a public television program.
Capable of being bought or bribed.
Like this. Corruptible.
So you could also make your own sets, which I did.
Let's have a twit quiz.
Yes. Here's
Shows.
Study
Let's
it.
study it. That's the flashcard part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What show? Leo hosts Our Friend Zinc, The Problem with Megan, and study guides past, present, and future. Right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Except for there's the shows that you host.
You actually
right there.
typed that in?
I did, yes.
I admire your enterprise.
Or someone studying to be you or
an
get a
expert.
job here or
A
something.
trivia,
No.
twit trivia.
So yeah, I created my own for that, and that was free. I haven't paid for any of this stuff, so you can see, you can
I like
play
the
with friends.
confidence thing where you say how well you knew it. And
Yeah,
then
it's confidence-based repetition. It's science. So and this has more than Quizlet does. It tells you how many cards you've studied. If you're on a streak, how often you've worked, 12 cards mastered. That's how many are in the library.
A lot of schools now and teachers call this drill and kill. They feel like that's not, this kind of memorization is not a good way to learn. And I agree if you're learning critical thinking and other skills. But if you need to learn a vocabulary, anatomy,
Or multiplication,
med school,
like that.
That's
you
the
have,
perfect
yeah,
one. Multiplication.
Yeah.
You
So
have
we
to memorize
use
it.
these
There's no
for sure.
shortcut. Yeah.
Yeah, at home. And they're just fast and it's easy and it's more fun than the paper.
It's not a great way
It's
to
not
know what Leibniz wrote about.
Right. Or
Reconnaissance.
So yeah, I have some other apps that help you learn other things.
Okay.
Not drill.
What
But
else?
you have
Well, okay, I'll show you. This is something this is really a good thing to have for an iPad. If a kid's using an iPad in school, it makes a wonderful planner. When you get into 7th grade, and Annabella is in 7th grade now, a lot of schools will give the kid their first planner. They know they're going to screw it up because it's, organization is hard for kids. But it is a really great thing to start learning. This is one of, there's probably 3 dozen planners, some free, some not, on the Apple Store. This is one called Cogito, C-O-G-I-T-O. And it's very similar to all of them. You probably should look at a variety of them. It says what the first day of school is, the last day of school, the daily schedule, so you could put your periods. And again, this is more appropriate for 7th grade and later where you'll have a more complicated schedule. The courses is great even for college, the master schedule, and it will also help you plan for homework, right? It'll tell you what your homework assignments are, and you'll get a calendar and you'll say this one is due and so forth. Now, as you can see, I haven't spent any time setting it up. There is a lot of setup. You have to put your courses in, you have to do all of that. But once you've configured it, it's it's a nice looking agenda. It gives you a calendar, gives you assignments. You can look day, week, month, year. Most importantly, tasks. I think tasks are really a big part of what these things are useful for, because one of the hardest things for kids is to keep, when you get into 7th grade, keep track of your different classes and what you have assigned in each class. So a great planner makes a big difference. This is called C-O-G-I-T-O, Cogito. We've recommended other planners on the show and past iPads today, but this one I was pretty impressed with, and it's free, which has a lot to recommend it.
And that seems like it would be great for even older kids. Like
Yeah, right through
Mario, who's
college.
going back to
Or
school,
Mario,
Debbie's son.
yep.
Yeah, she said he's leaving.
Now-
Like that would be good for college too.
The one thing that you pay for, there's a $2.99 in-app purchase, which is great, which is that will allow a teacher to share a schedule to a kid over the network, which is really good, because
that is good.
if you saw the setup was involved, it'd be great if you could just go to a class and say, teacher, send me the Cogito stuff and I'll have it. And so I think that's if your school's using a particular kind of planner, use that kind of planner.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is so much better than a paper planner. Kids can use it, they get it. It feels comfortable to them. And it of course works on the iPhone too. And once you've got a planner system working for you, I think it's a lifelong skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I never, by the way, got.
My boys do have planners. They got them starting in the 4th grade, and they're like torn up in little pieces and at the bottom of their backpack with half a sandwich.
Kids are digital natives. I don't think, I mean, I understand, but I think you're going to have better success with a digital planner.
So I have 2 more. One is one I mentioned before on the show is Quizup, which I think,
we
you know,
love.
It's
a fun game.
You could learn, you know, about Glee or Titanic or, that's
Which
not
I have. I know more about Glee than any
really?
human alive. Oh, yeah.
My daughter thinks she is. She's
She
ranked
is?
in
She's
Glee.
ranked?
Yes. That's what she's been doing most of the summer, playing Quizup,
Now,
Glee.
the one caveat on Quizup, like a lot of these trivia games, and I think this is the best of the bunch, better than Trivia Crack, is that some of these quizzes are provided by people who use it, which means that some of the answers could, just like the flashcards,
Yeah, I've
could be
never
wrong.
seen any wrong answers. Have you?
I've seen bad questions and perhaps not exactly the right answer.
Right. So yeah, so you can do all the fun, you know, Frozen or whatever, but they also do. They have grammar, they have word definitions, they have math too. So if you're getting bored with the flashcards, then you can just do some basic math here. So are you ready for some basic math?
That was a Jeopardy category the other day, and I aced it.
So well. So you're playing with someone somewhere in the world.
Needles would always challenge me to math.
He would.
Yeah.
We're playing with Jamila
mean.
Kazi.
Hi,
Pakistan.
Jamila. See, that's cool, too, for students, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing a Pakistani
Ready?
student. Which of the following numbers is a factor of 60? 4. Now, we wait for Jamil to give his answer.
Jamila.
Jamila. And by the way, you don't win points just for getting it right. You have to do it fast. How many hours is 60?
5 days?
No.
120?
5 times 120. See, I think Jamila is faster than
Yeah,
us
she's
on that.
6 points faster.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh my gosh.
16 plus 22 is 38. I think Jamila beat us on that one.
No, she
too.
did not.
Ah! Jamila doesn't know. She gave up.
She did beat us. She's
She
48.
beat the heck out of us. Round 4. All right, I feel pressure now. 20.
We got this one.
43.
Oh,
12.
She's fast.
500.
Should we keep going?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, good. Thank God you're doing it. Oh, that was a hard one. Okay, round 6.
Okay.
All right. 22 times 22 is 484. 484. Yeah, whew, that's lucky.
That was good.
I think we beat Jamila on that one.
No.
No.
Okay, bonus round. Let's
Okay,
look.
this is week 8, 10.
Oh.
So close.
We were so close.
We got them all
did get
right,
them all right.
but we lost by just 6 points. Isn't that
She
fun?
left the match. So if you're getting bored with the flashcards.
I love Quizup.
I do too. Okay, so I have, I think another, now have you heard of the flipped classroom?
No. Oh,
The idea?
yes. I love this idea.
Yeah, I love this idea. So the idea is that instead of doing worksheets or just flashcards in the class, that you use the class, or even lectures in the class, that you use the tools that you have, TED Talks or whatever it is outside of the classroom, and then you leave the classroom for discussion and questions and more interactive things.
Because that's where there's a teacher and your peers, you're going to learn better taking advantage of your teacher and your peers, and you can do the rote work that doesn't involve the homework.
Right.
That doesn't involve teachers and peers at home.
So I really like that idea, and I think
do
that
too.
there's so many videos out there that, I mean, of course we've talked about Khan Academy a bunch of times.
That's
and you can
Khan
learn.
Academy is like the flipped classroom, right? You
Yes.
watch the lecture on, algebra, and then you go to this class and you ask the teacher, you talk about it.
Right. So I have some links. Oh, there it goes. Khan Academy just did like a contest to find the best explainers, and they found some really great ones. I think maybe, Anthony, if you have that open, I have the 5th grade. Yeah, so it's a talent search. And I looked at that Dara Brady, 5th grade teacher. That guy's going to tell you about wine.
Created the video about the tears of wine that form around the edge of wine glasses.
Most people who drink wine have seen the
We in the
drops form
enophile
around the
trade
So
call
if that's
those
what you're
legs,
learning,
you know,
yes,
those are
legs.
legs.
Yeah, he called them something else.
Yes,
Tears.
tears.
But
They're
if that
legs.
second link is Dara Brady, 5th grade teacher, and it was amazing. I mean, she's just a teacher, and then she just made
Isn't
some
that awesome?
YouTube videos, and she explains the respiratory system in an amazing way. A couple other ones that I like. Do you know who Brian Greene is, the theoretical
do.
physicist?
He's one of my favorite writers on
I love
physics.
him too.
Yeah.
He did that opera, I can't remember what, Icarus at the Edge of Time. Did you ever hear that?
Yes.
So he
yes,
has.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I got the book for my kids. But have you
Yeah.
heard of his project World Science U?
No.
So I can get it from there. It is. So these are courses that you can take. I mean,
He's a
this is
real
not-
physicist, but he's
he
also
really
an
is.
educator, and
Yeah.
I think that's what's great about this.
So these are classes, and I heard him speak about it, and it's really different because I think a lot of online learning right now is just like people get lost in it and they don't know who it is, or it's not someone.
He inspires.
He does, yeah. So there's courses that you can take, and it tells you what kind of background you really have to have. But maybe we can watch a little bit of this
I'm going to
video.
send my son this because he loves Brian Greene.
Hi, I'm Brian Greene.
It is.
I'm excited to announce that I'm teaching 2 new courses on Einstein's special theory of relativity. Where am I teaching them? Anywhere and
I'm sending
everywhere
this to
because
Henry.
they're
He would love
online.
this.
Who are they for?
Me.
For you.
Yeah.
For your friend, for
Yeah.
your neighbor, for anyone who
My
has a
son.
thirst for knowledge. How much does it cost? Nothing.
Isn't that great?
To learn about one of the most exciting discoveries of the last 100 years, all you have to do is sign up.
And this is real
I
science. As you can
first
see, this is
learned
real
about-
science.
Yes,
This is
it's
not,
not.
if you've watched Cosmos, it's a little soft. You get the idea and you can get excited. But this, you're actually learning.
Yeah.
You're learning the math, the physics, the real stuff. I love that. That's
I
great.
remember you were reading a book to Abby about string theory when she
Yeah.
was like 8 or 9
Yeah.
years old. I remember
Yeah,
that.
George Gamow, G-A-M-O-W, wrote a whole bunch of wonderful books. But that's the old school. This is new school.
And so,
I love it.
there's places that you can just click around and get answers if you're just interested. That's World Science U. And Forward Thinking, have you seen those shows?
No.
That is Jonathan Strickland of How Stuff Works. And I love his teaching style too, and his videos are fun. They're for younger. My boys really love them. He came on Tech News Tonight too, and a couple weeks ago. So
Really, I love him.
Yeah, he's great. So
I've known Jonathan
this is,
for years. We used to have him on the screensavers. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So check that out. Forward Thinking, Khan Academy, which can be overwhelming. Then we'll have the link in the show notes to those teachers that they just found, and World Science U.
You know, it's incredible. I mean, if you're a kid today, the options, if you have the internet, if you have access to the internet, and more kids all over the world do, you could just sit and watch YouTube videos of PewDiePie playing games, or you could learn, or you could do both. The chance to learn is so amazing,
Yeah.
and for free.
Yeah.
College education online. You don't get the degree, but you get the knowledge, which is more important, right? The piece of paper or the knowledge. I love it.
I mean, education is like everything, really changing a lot. It's not going to look the same
I
as
agree.
it is even now. Yeah.
And it's great for old folks like me because I can be a lifelong learner. I can continue to learn. And there's so many wonderful resources. Don't forget iTunes U. We didn't mention that, but
Right.
that's full of college courses. MIT's Open Courseware Initiative puts all of the courses at MIT online for you to watch free. Yale's doing something similar.
yeah.
Stanford does something similar. I mean, it's just amazing.
It is. Never stop learning.
Yep.
That's all I got. The links are at
Nice.
twit.tv/iOS.
Nice.
And just a reminder, you can watch this show live 12:30 Pacific time every Monday. And we are brought to you,
By whom?
Gazelle.
I love Gazelle. You know, we are, according to the rumor, less than a month away from an iPhone announcement, right?
That's the rumor.
We're thinking, they said, John Pachkowski said it's going to be September 7th, 8th, or maybe the 9th. But I think it's going to be the 8th. That's my prediction because Apple likes to do it Tuesdays. That means if you go right now to gazelle.com, you don't even have to commit, but if you think you might want the new iPhone, go to gazelle.com right now and get a quote for your iPhone 6 or 6 Plus, whatever it is you're using. I can tell you one thing, it is at the peak of its value now. It's not going to get more valuable as we get closer to that announcement. So now's the time. That quote is locked in for 30 days. So you have the option to decide or not whether to sell it, but you're going to get the top dollar if you get the quote right now. What? 400? That's what I've got. This is worth $445. By the way, you notice that unlocked price, and they tell you how you can unlock it. So that is incredible. I could take my iPhone 6, get most of the money towards buying a brand new iPhone right now from Gazelle, gazelle.com. Now, again, you're not committed. It's good for 30 days. When it's time, when you see the new iPhone, you say, yep, I'm going to buy it. You push the button, they'll send you a box, they pay the postage on anything worth more than $1. In fact, as long as you're up to this, put all your stuff in there. If you've been throwing stuff in a drawer, don't throw $100 bills in the drawer. That's throwing away money, or at least letting it get dust. And by the way, it's slowly going away because these values and these objects don't get better, they get lower, right? So get your quote right now at Gazelle. They'll pay you fast if you forget or can't wipe the data, because they do buy broken iPhones and iPads. They'll do that for you. And then they'll either send you a check, a PayPal credit if you want it right away, or an Amazon gift card, and they will bump that up by 5%. So that's, if you buy a lot of stuff on Amazon, that's a really good deal. They have now paid out $200, is that what it said? Yeah, $200 million to over 2 million customers with a very high satisfaction rate. Now, you might ask, well, what happens to the stuff they buy? Well, the very, very best stuff they will sell. So this is another way to save money. You say, I don't want the new iPhone, but you know they're going to have a lot of good condition old iPhones available for sale very soon, and you can buy them at a great deal on Gazelle. 2 different qualities, certified like new. That's somebody who bought it, opened the box, looked at it, closed the box, sold it to Gazelle. And there's a lot of that. You could save even more money, though, if you get the certified good. That means there'll be some, slight signs of wear. It may be a little scratch on the back, stuff like that. But you're going to save even more. It's really a great way to replace a broken or lost device. They will sell iPhones, iPads, Samsung Galaxy phones. Go to Gazelle. Find out. It's great. Gazelle, both to buy and to sell. The fast and simple way. It's Gazelle.
You could buy a device for your kid for all these apps, if you like an older device that you didn't want to hand over a brand new iPad.
Exactly. Yeah. Or I mean, that's exactly right. If people could even buy an old iPhone, not activate it, and get all the benefits of an iPhone without having to pay a monthly fee, things like that.
So last week I said that there was a rumor that Apple was going to become an MVNO, like their own cell phone carrier.
Yeah.
And that is not true. Apple denied that. Whether or not it's really not true, but Apple definitely denied that.
It might be true, but Apple doesn't want to admit it.
So
it might be one of those things.
Right. Don't go telling anybody.
I was skeptical. I also have a.
You were right. I was wrong.
I have a retraction.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Casey Neistat, we talked about his new app, which I called Be Me, because it's capital B, E, capital M, E. And it is kind of like the world through my view. You tap, when you've got, it turns out it's called Beam, running. It buzzes and it starts sending out a video. But I said it was Be Me. It's not, and I want to apologize, Casey. It's Beam. I know that because he was at VidCon talking all about it.
Oh.
And I saw the videos and I went, oh, I got the wrong name.
Maybe it should be Be Me.
I think it should. You know what? What are you doing? You tap this to your chest. It shows the world what you're seeing, not you. It's not a selfie. You get to be me. I think that's the name. But anyway, Casey doesn't, and he wrote it, so.
I have another follow-up. Last week we were talking about the switch, whether it was a switch or a toggle or whatever. Chris, he wanted to email, Chris with a K, but he is a guy. He says it's called a switch. Think of a light switch. It's meant to be tapped, not slid, or to be toggled, flipped between on and off. So the
Switch is the right name.
Yes, switch.
That makes sense. It looks like a switch.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Do you have anything that's not a correction, an apology, a mea culpa?
I do.
Okay.
Tess wrote us. She's had a question about the iOS Today subreddit. She said she posted a new app for the iPad on there, and then it disappeared, and she doesn't know why, and I don't know why either. I asked her
Voted down, probably.
Well, I looked through the Reddit and I didn't see it, so I told her to post again. Maybe she put it on a different subreddit by accident.
Maybe.
Reddit can be a little bit confusing if you haven't used it, but her recommendation was...
We like it if you do that.
Zumbinis.
Oh.
And
she's right.
She said her son used to use this on the PC.
So did my kids.
And now he's in college.
Yep.
As are
so
your
are my kids. Thanks to Zubinis, they learned everything.
So I haven't gotten a ton of chance to play Zumbinis, but you clearly have.
The premise is you've got to rescue the Zumbinis, but while you're doing it, you're learning. It's kind of the perfect educational game. It's fun to play. It's an awesome game, and there's a little learning involved too. My kids adored the Zumbinis.
So, what do I do?
Well, you'll see.
Do I make a face out of myself?
You could. Here comes some Zumbinis. You've got to rescue them.
Oh.
You've got to lead them to safety.
Trying to select traits. Okay.
Oh, you got to create it, or you got to create your Zumbini.
Oh, there we go.
First, we're going to create a Zumbini. All right.
What are the dice for? Oh.
Oh, kids love these. Yeah. So we're going to create a few of these little Zumbinis. Now there's a boat.
Do I press that?
Yeah.
No, I wait. Did I create too many?
You can't create too many. You can only create just the right number.
Just the right number of Zumbinis.
So I think I would guess you're creating your. It's been a long time since I played this. You create yourself, and then the other Zumbinis arrive.
Well, she said it has puzzles, and she said she played it more.
So see that boat?
Kids did even.
Tap the boat. Let's see what happens.
Go
Get them on the boat.
Go on there.
How do you get them on the boat? Well, solve that puzzle. You could press a question mark if you're really puzzled. You got them on the boat. Let's get them all on the boat. Do. All
What
right.
just happened, but
They sailed somewhere.
Today's tossed about by a stormy
Zumbinis. It
What
was-
ages
it was-
would you say? I'm thinking 8 to 12, maybe.
I mean, it's $4.99 too. It's not free.
Worth
You
it.
think it's worth it?
I'm so thrilled they're back. It's funny when they released it, everybody of my age and a lot of kids, my kids' age, just jumped up and down and said, they're back, they're back, they're back. It was a great learning program. I'm so glad to see it back. And the iPad is a perfect platform for it.
Excellent. We have a voicemail from Joe. I think, could we play that, Anthony?
Hi, this is Joe from New York. I had a thought about photos backup. If you have iCloud Photo turned on your phone and set it to the optimize photo size
Which we
setting,
recommend. Yep.
then if you turn on Google Photos, isn't it uploading and backing up the optimized size photos and not the full-size photos?
I see what he's saying.
Are the two connected? That was the thing
So what's happening is when you choose, so this is not pictures he takes on the phone, pictures he takes elsewhere that are copied by Apple's photos to the phone. And as you know, if you turn on the iCloud photo library and select that optimized, it won't download the original, the full-sized. You can make it do so. It'll download a lower quality that's designed for the iPad. You know what? That's the only version that's on your iPad. That's what Google Photos will back up. You should be aware that Google Photos also optimizes. In fact, if you tell Google Photos, upload all my images from my iPhone or my iPad, and you don't say upload originals, you may be fooled, as I was, by the fact that it says up to 16 megapixels. I thought, well, that's great. It'll take if it's an 8 megapixel camera, as I have on my iPhone and iPad, it'll take an 8 megapixel version. No, it still squishes it down even more. Yeah, further compresses it. I was a little disappointed. It does a good job. It looks great. It's kind of doing the same thing Apple's doing, which is optimizing it for the platform you're going to view it on. And they still look very good. I can't tell. You know, the reason I know this is because I was looking at the file sizes and I was saying, well, those are awfully small. So I deleted all the photos of my trip from Google Photos and then said, now, upload from my desktop the high quality, using the high quality version, and it still was heavily shrunk down. So Google Photos are doing the same thing Apple's doing. I would bet, I can't tell, and nobody really is very forthright in this stuff. I guess we could call Google and see if we can get a human, but I would guess that once it's optimized as Apple does for the iPad, it's not going to be further squished by Google. It'll say, oh, that's nice, nicely squished. We'll take that version. So it may run it through a recompressor, but I don't think the quality will go down.
All right. Al also sent us a voicemail, I believe.
Hi, this is Al from Patterson, New Jersey, and I'm just calling about episode 258 regarding the regarding the ability to back up chat messages from iMessage. There's an app called PhoneView from eCam software that lets you back up everything in your conversations from iMessage or SMS, including audio and video clips, images, and text.
It's a desktop app.
And also, the app will let you back up your voicemail messages as MP3s.
Yeah. Essentially, okay.
Thanks for the show. It's awesome. Really love it. Been a fan since way back in the day.
Good.
Keep it up, guys.
Thank you. Hey, thank you, by the way, for leaving short messages with your first name and city. They're learning. I love it.
And, you know, last week we talked about the Google transcription, and it transcribes it, and it is almost
Did it do a
perfect.
good job?
It is better. Even when he, like, coughed and said, I'm sorry, like, they left it out. Yeah.
How do you rate?
Yeah. No, they knew that he was pausing.
That's nice.
It's good. Okay, so PhoneView.
Yeah, I've
$30.
recommended this for a long time. It essentially is an app for your Mac that lets you look into your phone and see files and copy them over. So it is not an app for your phone, it's an app for your desktop that will let you copy files, including text messages. I don't think there's a Windows version unless they've come up with one. Maybe you could check, Anthony, you're on the site. But it is a Mac app, and I've used it and I recommend it. It's not free, $30.
Yeah,
although I think there's a trial version. I don't know if it'll let you download everything, but at least you can try it. Yes, it's Mac only, isn't it? Yeah. Do like it. I do like it, and I recommend it all the time. PhoneView, the website is ecam.com.
All right, and we have another call, too, another voicemail.
Hi, I'm Jean. I'm calling from Moline, Illinois. My comment is that once I downloaded iOS 8.4 on my iPad. As soon as I got a phone call on my phone, my iPad started ringing. I thought it was a FaceTime call, and when I swiped to answer the call, it was a regular phone call.
Yeah, it's handoff.
How does that work? Does it have something to do with having wireless and the phone's proximity to the iPad? Thanks for taking my call, and I'm enjoying your show very much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Gene. Yes, it's one of the features Apple highly touted, continuity and handoff. The idea is, in fact, you can do it the other way, too. You could place a phone call on your computer, and it will use your iPhone to make the call, but you're using the headset on the computer, the speakers on the computer, just as like kind of if you were making a FaceTime call. It's a really nice feature. I use it all the time. In fact, now when you call me, everything rings, my iPhone, my iPad, my desktop, and better yet, I could pick it up on whatever device is handy. So even if my phone's in the bedroom and I'm in my office, the phone rings, it'll say in the corner, your phone, you know, who's calling, and I can accept that call and answer it on the computer. It's a very nice feature. This is one of the features Apple touted as new in iOS 8.4. You do have to have, I believe, you have to have Yosemite as the OS X operating system to use this, but we'll have to check the specifications. Very nice feature. I love that.
And if you don't like it, is there a way to turn it off?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Great.
I have no idea, but I'd be shocked if there weren't a way to turn it off. I was actually, while I was listening to her, I was looking and seeing if I could find a way to do that.
Because I don't love it, I'll have to
You
tell
don't like it?
Well, I don't need everything to ring, because I have my watch and my phone, and that's enough. I don't need the iPad.
I do get a lot of ringing.
Yeah.
So if you go to General in the settings and Handoff and Suggested Apps, the key is knowing that this is called Handoff. You can turn off Handoff. Handoff lets you start something on one device and pick it up on other devices. I'm pretty sure that's what that would.
Yeah, just for your iPad. So everything else rings.
Disable it, and you can disable it on different devices and keep it enabled on other devices, right?
Yes. So we love your phone calls. 757-504 iPad is the phone number.
I've been doing this show for how long? Hundreds of episodes. And we've asked and we've begged and we've pleaded for phone calls. And you magically did something. You changed the answering machine message?
I used my voice changer, so I actually called in all those questions.
Anyway, thank you.
No, I did change I did figure out how to change the voicemail message.
Maybe Sarah's message was scaring people off. I don't know. Anyway, that's great. 30 seconds. First name, city. Start with that. Don't give us any private information because we may use it on the air. But that's a great way to do it.
Yeah. Or send us a video too. So
that would be fun.
That'd be short, and then we can watch that. And now it's time for the App Cap Award. So that's the time where we wear funny hats
to celebrate the diversity of creativity in the application developer universe. I think I got your hat.
What?
Not that I'm sexist or anything.
Also, our hats don't really fit in this.
I want to be a Disney princess.
You look great in that hat. I was worried it wasn't going to fit your head.
Well,
but it does.
It's stretchy.
Yeah.
It's going to be stretched out now. This is my princess hat because I have a princess app. And you are wearing, you look like you could be a bear in Polar Express.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Are you an armored bear?
Yeah. But this is my efficiency expert hat, and that's what I'm talking about. The Outlook app for iOS, which I've been using for a long time. It's my favorite.
Can I borrow that when I go to Russia next year?
Yes, you may. Yeah, but you have to wear it like this. So Outlook for iOS. That's
Outlook.
My email.
Brand new from Microsoft.
I've tried them all, and that's my favorite.
You're using it?
I'm using it, yes.
Interesting.
And, I showed another app, Zero, that I use when I'm just working on my inbox, Zero. But mostly I just use Outlook, and I have been trying to use other apps, but now they just came up with an Apple Watch app for Outlook. And it's not perfect.
Thank you, Microsoft.
It is not perfect, but it is better.
Can you answer email on your watch?
You can reply to email on your watch. So let's
with
take
stock
a look
replies,
at this.
obviously.
No,
right?
you can talk. I mean, you can.
No.
Yes, you can. You can.
Wow, that's some real wizardry, Apple.
And you get,
Microsoft.
you get your notifications too. So let's see if I have any there. Yeah, see, there's a notification. Here's an issue I have with it. You can't respond to the notification. It just opens it. But you can read a lot.
You can read it, archive it, dismiss it.
Yeah,
and schedule it, mark it as read.
So that's what you can do from. So I'm gonna schedule that so that it comes up
That's
later.
nice.
But then that's just the notification.
You know what?
But
That's triage, and I like that.
Right,
that's important.
But then the app itself, you can actually reply. So,
I see.
let's see.
That's a limitation, of course, of Apple's, and I bet you with watchOS 2.0 that Microsoft will add that ability to reply directly to an email.
Right. So here's my Blue Apron email.
Ooh, you're getting seared pork chops and Commute?
So then I can go down to the bottom and I can reply. It only gives me the option to reply all. I'm going to just use this. I could do this. Okay, sounds good. I could send that, or I can say, thanks, Blue Apron. And then done. So I can actually send that email. Yeah. So I really like it. It's not perfect, but here's another thing you can do with Force Touch. You can respond by Force Touch, so that I'm just going to archive that. You can delete, triage, but you can also respond. It does seem to soak up my battery life. I usually make it to the end of the day with no issues, but once I've been using this actively, I do start to get a little bit low on battery.
Okay.
But the question is, do we need to respond from our watch email?
Sometimes.
So it's
quick
there.
response would be nice.
It is there.
Yeah.
But using it regularly, I don't know. Your phone's
I like
right
the
there.
triage thing. That's the main thing. You could sit here and you could kind of get rid of a lot of useless messages, so you could focus when you get back to your iPad or your computer.
I would say it's the best email app for Apple Watch yet.
From Microsoft,
but
of all
not
people.
perfect. Yeah.
They bought a Complete, which we really liked, and I think that's mostly a Complete. So they started with a really great iOS app, and they've improved it. I stand corrected. I misspoke. We were talking about turning off the ringing of your device. It is continuity, not handoff. I confuse the two because they're similar. And you don't turn it off in the handoff section of General. You turn it off, and this maybe isn't as intuitive as it ought to be, in FaceTime. So if you don't want your iPad or iPhone to ring when somebody calls your phone, I mean, you want your phone to ring, you don't want your computer or your iPad to ring, you'd go into the FaceTime settings on your, can you show this? On your computer, on your iPad, and just see this iPhone cellular calls, turn that off. I like it, personally. I think it's a nice feature, but I apologize, that was the wrong place to turn it off. Now can I show my app, Kat?
Yes, you can show
I'm an excellent driver, and this game from a company called Mediocre is really not mediocre. It's quite good. It's called Commute, and it's quite addictive. It's free, although as you can see, there is a premium version. And the idea is you've got to commute. Dennis Charles Schneider leaves his house and heads to his clinic on Gower Boulevard. So that's his car. I've got to get him there. And of course, I do it by tilting and so forth. So you could also do it with your, crashing makes your car slower. That was, rewind. Yes, thank you.
I tried this app. I was going to show it. I was horrible at it. Even worse than I am at regular driving.
Okay. Rich. There we go. 51 seconds, but I lost a second because I reran it. Postwoman Betty is very efficient, so she always has time to stop and see Mr. Beck. So she wants to go through here and up there. 10 points if we can get him through there. You ready? All right, Postwoman Betty. I missed the 10 points.
Both cars?
No, I could have crashed into him, though. He was an obstacle. Mrs. Mayfield is late to the office. By the way, this is the easy part. Her husband has kept her with his constant talk of Yorkshire Terriers. Darn you, hubby. So let's turn. Oh. Whoa.
I hope she doesn't have the Yorkshire Terriers in the car with her. So the goal is to be fast.
The goal is to get where you're going. Now, obviously, I'm not going to drive through the trees here. She's on her way back home. She forgot her key card.
What happens if you do drive through the trees?
You crash, of course.
Whoa.
It's kind of like Crazy Taxi a little bit. It's called Commute. It gets more and more fun. It is challenging. It's easier with a joystick. Sometimes I play it on my big screen TV using my Android Shield, but it is available iPad and iPhone. And you know, it's a great time waster on the iPhone if you're stuck in line somewhere.
Right, or if you're driving.
If you're driving and you hate your commute, get Commute by Mediocre. It's free with in-app purchases.
But don't use it while you're driving. That was just a joke.
You think people would actually, like, if we said that, they'd go, oh, it's okay because Megan and Leo said it's okay.
I just wanted to be clear.
You think people would do that?
I
They'd
hope
tell
not.
the highway patrolman, oh, no, really, I have permission.
And then he'd show this video of us wearing these hats.
You see, by the way, it's $1.99 to enable premium checkpoints, so that's not so expensive if you want to do that.
No.
Commute.
Would you recommend it as a way to teach someone how to drive?
No.
Okay. Good.
No, not at all. You know, John C. Dvorak always swore that his son was a better driver because he'd played all those driving games as a youth.
I believe that.
This is not that game.
Not that, but
because it's really kind of
Minecraft
tempting to crash.
Yes. That's it for this episode of iOS today.
I tip my wizard's hat to you.
I tip my hat to you. All the links can be found at twit.tv/iOS. Go to the Reddit. It's reddit.com/r/iOS today. Post stuff, comment on stuff, vote stuff up, vote stuff down. Do all the things.
This is a great resource.
It is.
Leo and my mom were right.
I posted that. I came clean 5 days ago.
Any site that says that, I'm all for it.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time. Toot toot. On iOS Today. Bye-bye.